through how to start the first gear assignment. I apologize for not being in class and getting you guys going, but can't help it when you get sick. For the assignment here in Google Classroom, we have our first gear. I'm going to use the attached worksheet that's on here. Um, any highlighted questions you'll see on that need to be answered using complete sentences. There's some leading questions before you actually do the testing and some rapid ones afterward. Um, I'll make a note here about the gear ratios you need to build on page 4 of 6 in the first gear assignment on Lego. So once you got this, you're going to click on this and open the file. It'll bring you this here. So you're going to start with the whole thing here, answering these questions for each name and class period. Anything highlighted, something you need to do. Most of this was going to come from either the yellow sheet or the little experiments we did with gears last week. So you should be familiar with this. You may have to think a little bit more on this fourth one, but if you pay attention at all, you should be fine. On this worksheet, it shows the gears you'll be using and again the teeth count. So you'll be looking in the software, the Lego software on the MacBook, for which gears to put on when you're finding your gear ratios. This will help you figure out which one's which. When it comes to the data collection, you're going to have to do this with 4 different gear ratios. So there's things here. You got to make a prediction, find the gear ratio, tell me if it's a gear up or down, and what action was observed, rotations of the geared indicator, and the turning direction. So the prediction, gear ratio, and gear up or down, that all happens before you test it. For the predictions, as it says right up here, you're thinking about what direction the geared indicator, so the one on the right, indicator on the gear, what direction is it going to turn, and is it going to be faster, slower, or the same speed as the control motor on the left. So the motor on the left always goes 1 rotation counterclockwise at 15% speed every single time. That's why it's the control. So when you make your predictions, you're thinking about the turning direction and its speed compared to the control. It's going to be faster, slower, the same speed. For gear ratio, again, the numbers will be here. Okay, so you need to look at what gears are on it, and please use your yellow gears worksheet to walk you through the steps. Now, if you're looking at your robot as it's built, in the instructions, you have 2 24-tooth gears. So to give you a little clue, in that case, if both gears are the same, we talked about it before, if one turns 1 time, the other is going to turn 1 time. So your ratio should be 1 to 1. And if you look at your yellow sheet for the definitions of gear up or gear down, if they're both the same size, it doesn't meet the requirement, so you should have a no there. Once you get into the actual testing, you'll do the what was observed, and it says right here, what did you notice about the speed and direction compared to the control motor? So you made your prediction about what you think the geared indicator is going to do compared to the control. Now you're telling me, what did it actually do? Did it go the same speed? Was it faster? Was it slower? Did it go the same direction or the opposite direction? So you're going to run it a few times and get that. The number of rotations, again, is for the geared indicator on the right. I don't need to know anything about the one on the left because I know that motor only goes 1 rotation counterclockwise. I want to know about the geared one. Sometimes it's more than 1 rotation. Sometimes it's less than 1 rotation. Okay, and then turning direction, again, that is the geared indicator. Is it clockwise or counterclockwise? So you're going to run it with the 2 24-tooth gears that you started and you built the robot with. So you'll run that, make your predictions, find your ratio and your gear up, gear down based on the stuff on the yellow sheet. Do your testing, collect this data. Once you've got that done, as it says here, you're going to go to page 4 to 6. So you should have EV3 Classroom opened up. If you have first gear here, you can just click right on it. If you don't, you go to Units, Engineering Lab, scroll down to first gear, and then go over to page 4, and you scroll down and click Hint. Now this is the one you started with, the 24 and 24. So when we talk about the control motor, that's the left one here that never changes. Okay, this is the geared indicator that we're always looking at. So once you've done all of the testing for this first ratio that you just built, Then you're going to come into here and carefully remove the indicator in the two gears. And then it will tell you to bring this in. So you have the big gear and the little gear. The little gear is on the motor. And again, if it's on the motor, that's the input gear to help you with that, with the ratio. Once you get that built, you're going to come back in and do the same thing. Make a new prediction. What do you think this new gear set is going to do compared to the control? Find a gear ratio. Now the rest of these, 2, 3, and 4, will be either up or down. So if it's a gear up, you would write up. If it's a gear down, you would write down. Once you fill that out, again, run the testing, write down what was observed, just as it says here. How many rotations did it go? What direction did the geared indicator go? Again, that's all the geared indicator here, not the motor on the left. That's the control. Once you build that, you'll come back into here, build the next one, do the same process. Your last gear set uses an idler gear. So you have a little 8-tooth on the motor, then you have a tan pin, one of the short tan pins, with another 8-tooth gear like we practiced when we built our gear testing rig. And then the 24-tooth here. Okay? So that's where all the stuff is. You should already have the program loaded onto your computer. If it's not, just go to page 4, and then you can download it once you've hooked up. So you're going to collect all that data, each row is with a different gear set. Make sure you get that all filled in. And then you're going to answer the questions down below using complete sentences. Okay? Hopefully that works. You can ask your classmates if you have any questions. Use your resources. I give you the numbers. Use your yellow worksheets. Good luck. Have fun. Stay on task and do not lose pieces as you're sorting out Lego parts for new gears. Get to work.